fluffy and soft buns with meaty interior with crispy crunchiness that just screams burgers to me. And today I'm going to show you Taiwanese burger, which is bao buns or aBAOut. Let's get into it. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Sam Kitchen. My name is Sam Lin. I am a home cook who's really passionate about sustainability and, more importantly, save money by making things at home, and hopefully I can be helping you guys do the same in your own kitchen as well. So this week's recipe is really close to my heart. So I grew up in Taiwan. Whenever there is family gathering or Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, there are two things that my grandma loves making. One is a Taiwanese spring roll, not the deep fried ones, probably 5-10 times the size of that. It's packed with fresh veggies, it's packed with some curry stuffing, it's super delicious. Hopefully one day I'll be able to introduce that to you guys on this channel. But today, I'm going to talk about the other thing, which is aBAOut. So aBAOut is essentially the bao buns that we can see quite common in Western culture. Especially here in Brisbane, there's been pop-ups, there's been restaurants really be serving these like nice and fluffy white buns that kind of open up halfways, and then you can just put fillings. You can put meat, fried chicken, or like deep fried tofu, all sorts of different combinations, and they are just delicious. In my opinion, they are essentially a Taiwanese version of a really soft and delicious kind of burger, if you put it that way. Bao buns are so versatile, and you can basically just put whatever ingredients and combinations into your baos. So they are perfect for family dinners. Basically, you just make a spread of food or fillings, and then just like your taco night or your burrito night, really get people to sit around the table and then really just make your own combination, make your own little bao buns and have fun, enjoy food, and that is just good vibe all round. I would really recommend you trying this out at home. It's just such a great idea, and minimum effort. You can be prepping up bulk of food and then just get everyone to do the last bit of it, and it's so fun, it's so easy, and that is exactly what I'm going to show you in today's video, how to make that soft pillowy white bun right at home. And towards the end of the video, we'll be able to find out whether or not it's worth it making it at home. Before we get into the recipe, if you can give the video a like and consider subscribing, that will really help out my video and my channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and let's get cooking. To make our bao buns, we're going to need some very basic ingredients. The ingredients more or less resemble that of making bread. We'll start with some plain flour. Next, we'll need some dry yeast or instant yeast to make our buns nice and fluffy. To activate our yeast, we're going to need some sugar. Yeast loves sugar, and it's a combination of water and sugar that will bring our yeast back to life. Our yeast will eat away the sugar and protein in the dough and then create lovely air bubbles in our buns. Last but not the least, we'll need some neutral tasting oil to add into our dough and also to work with our dough. 5 ingredients is all we need to make some awesome bao buns. We'll put these aside and get started. First step, we're going to activate our yeast. Here, I'm using some dried yeast, which requires activation. Instant yeast, you can get away with just adding them straight into the dough, apparently. To make 20 baos, we are starting with 360 grams of water. Measure the water out, and next thing, we're going to warm it up to wake up our yeast. We want the water to be around 55 to 60 degrees Celsius. If you go higher than that, you'll likely kill the yeast and have to start over. While the water is on the stove warming up, here we want to add 7 grams of our dry yeast and 40 grams of sugar in. Give them a good mixy mix so I can get some nice B-rolls. Next is to add in our water. The water should be just warm to touch and definitely not burning your hand. So here, that's 360 grams of water to 40 grams of sugar and 7 grams of yeast. Give it a good mixing. just to get the yeast and sugar dissolved. Once that's all done, we're going to leave the mixture alone for at least 10 minutes. During the time, our yeast should start eating away the sugar and start producing some bubbles. After about 10 minutes, this is what the mixture looks like for me. The thin layer of foam on top indicates the activity is happening in the mixture. If your yeasty water is as flat as the earth, just kidding. If there's no bubbles at all, that just means that your water was either too hot or the yeast is just too old and it's all dead. Time to get new ones. Now with our activated yeast, we're going to add in the rest of the ingredients. Here, I added 40 grams of neutral tasting oil for a softer texture in our baos. Give it a good stirring to combine it well. Last but not the least, we're going to add 600 grams of plain flour. Once everything is in, it's time to combine it all together. You can absolutely use a stand mixer to put the dough together. This dough is a 60% hydration dough, which is not terribly sticky, so I'm just using my hand here to mix it through. There is something so satisfying with hand mixing dough. Bit of a soul healing process if you ask me. Also, make sure to wash your hands, otherwise you'll need some real healing process afterwards. Mix the dough through until it comes together as a dough. It should only take about 5 minutes. Don't over knead your dough here, as the goal is to just combine it until it's smooth, not to create a gluten ball that is super chewy. Once we have a smooth dough, put it in a big bowl and we're going to let it rest and proof for 1.5 hours. Sam's whinging time. There is no reason to be using plastic wraps if you can just find a big enough lid to cover your bowl. The dough is going to rise about 2 times big here, so be mindful of what you choose. I landed on my trusty pizza stone here instead of wasting plastic wrap. Another day, we did something good for the planet. 1.5 hours has gone past and our dough has risen big time. These are all massive bubbles, so we're going to crush it down and let it do a second rise. Get the dough out of the bowl and onto the working bench. Don't forget to get all of the residuals off the bowl as well. Now we have the dough on the bench. We're going to portion it into 20 smaller doughs at 50 to 52 grams each. The goal of this process is to get equal amount of dough per portion before we roll them again and turn into actual baos. And as always, we are working with a kitchen scale here. If you still haven't got one, Christmas is around the corner and you know what you're getting. Don't stress too much if you have to cut your dough multiple times. We'll reshape them later. Once we get all of the dough portioned up, put the scale away and we'll roll them into bowls. In this process, we are smoothing the dough out, at the same time pushing out all of the residual big bubbles in the dough. The dough shouldn't be too sticky to roll, but if that is the case, oil your hands for the tiniest bit to avoid them sticking. Next step, we're going to cut up some parchment paper. To prevent the doughs from drying out, grab a damp towel and then cover the dough while we are prepping our paper. We're going to prepare 20 10cm by 10cm parchment paper or baking paper, either one is fine. Lay out the parchment paper on your working surface. And next, we're going to drizzle and spread out some oil on each piece of paper to prevent our baos from sticking. Just a drop or two of oil per parchment paper should do the trick. Once all is done, uncover our dough and it's time to get working. Lightly oil the work surface. Don't forget about the rolling pin as well. Grab a ball of dough and we're going to roll the dough out into an oval shape. The dough should be a good 0.5 centimeter thickness when rolled out. Slightly grease the middle of the dough and then we want to fold the dough in half. The oil in the fold is what allows us to tear the bao buns open once fully cooked. Put the folded dough on the greased parchment paper, and that is one bao bun done here. Repeat the process to finish all of the doughs. Once all is rolled out, we let them proof for another 10 minutes. Last step of the process is to steam our doughs and turn them into nice and fluffy baos. I've just got a single layer IKEA steamer, so I have to do a few batches to finish these off. But the principle is pretty straightforward. Have a pot of water on medium heat and just lay out the baos flat in the steamer. The baos will expand slightly, so make sure you give some room for growth. Put the steamer over the pot of water on medium heat, and we want to steam them for 5 to 7 minutes with the lid on. 5 to 7 minutes is up. I took them out and then loaded another batch until all is cooked. These freshly cooked baos are so incredible. You can see the folded part is so easy to open with the applied oil. To dish up, I've got two versions of baos here. Starting with the braised pork one, I apply some nut butter on the bottom, a piece of braised pork shoulder, some slaw for freshness and crunchiness, and some chili for some extra kick. Put the lid back on, and that is one done. In the other one, in goes a piece of fried chicken, some homemade mayo, and topped with some homemade kimchi. The cost breakdown is as below. 600 grams of flour at $1 kilo equals to 60 cents. 7 grams of yeast at $1.50 per 100 grams equals to 10.5 cents. 40 grams of sugar at 15 cents per 100 grams equals to 6 cents. 40 grams of neutral tasting oil at 29 cents per 100 mils equals to 11.6 cents. 20 baos costed us 88.1 cents to make. A packet of frozen baos are easily $7 to $10. Alright guys, and there we have it. This is our bao buns done. The soft and cushiony baos on the outside is so simple to make, and the interior, I've got two examples here for you. The classic Taiwanese braised pork alongside with some crispy slaw, and on the right here playing with some more like a western take, some fried chicken with some kimchi and homemade mayo. Both of these are delicious, and in the video I made about 19 of them, and that was actually the dinner the night before, and luckily I got some left over here so I can actually do a take for you guys. Anyway, this is my lunch today, and I am going to dig in and let you know how they taste like. The baos are 1 day old, but just as delicious. And what really complements this whole thing is actually the nut butter. So traditionally in Taiwan we'll be using crushed peanut instead of nut butter, but really I'm just working with what I've got handy here. If you haven't checked out the almond butter recipe from last week, make sure you go check it out. Anyway, the nuttiness of the nut butter works so well with the rich and luxurious pork I've got in here. They work in harmony, and the crunchiness, the freshness of the slaw here really just completes the whole thing. Got the fried chicken here, I'm gonna dig in. This is a classic southern fried chicken with pickles, but with an Asian twist. The kimchi works pretty similar to pickles, gives that really nice and tanginess, but with that additional umami kick as well. And the crispy fried chicken here, it's so tasty, and the mayo really just binds the whole thing together. It's super delicious, and I really encourage you to try this at home. If you have a family dinner going on and you feel like showing off, this is so easy to make, and it's such a crowd pleaser. You can also make some vegetarian or vegan version. Pan fried tofu or deep fried tofu can be a great substitute of our fried chicken over here. Anyway, I've talked a lot and I can't wait to get back to my lunch. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a like and consider subscribing. I have a new video coming out on a weekly basis. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.